workshop, CargoVibes workshop. To me, this is a CargoVibes peak event. 2 years of work in work package 1, all amounting up to this workshop, really concentrated. And I'm wondering whether, in the future, upcoming years, when I look back at CargoVibes, will I remember the RMS value of the events here in CargoVibes, or these peak events like this workshop? I think I will remember the peak events, but I don't want to frame you for the discussions. This is a short introduction about CargoVibes in general and Work Package 1 in particular. Let's see. The topics that CargoVibes is addressing are, well, it's about groundwater vibration, obviously, from freight trains, and we're looking at hotspots. The reason for that is that, well, we know Europe, we project an increase of freight trains in the future, especially at night, because then there's room on the railways. And that on one side, on the other side, we sense that there is a raise of public awareness about vibration, and also especially about vibration from freight trains. So the main objectives of CargoVibes is to address that, and by doing 3 things. First, to establish at what vibration levels we can expect people to get annoyed. Because of course we have these standards and guidelines, all setting limits and all that. But we're wondering, are those limits correct? Are they maybe too strict or not strict enough? And are they, do they cover a sleep disturbance well enough? We don't know yet. So we want to study that. Second of all, we also want to provide solutions, of course, because in those situations, those hotspots where you do have problems, you want to do want to impose some technical measures. And what CargoVibes is aiming at is to develop 3 new mitigating measures. We're not going to study all the measures that there are. We're just focusing on 3 measures: 1 at the track, 1 at the source, the rolling stock, and 1 next to the track. And then for this stuff to realize, we need assessment methods, of course. Also something that's not readily available. So inside CargoVibes, they've been studying the right assessment methods, not so much also, of course, for annoyance and sleep disturbance, but also for the effects of measures. And not only just how to assess them in the field, but also how to assess them under lab conditions. Because until recently, it's quite common to study measures in a modeling environment and later on apply it in the field. But often you would like to have some stuff in between. You want to study the effect in lab. Now, CargoVibes is a consortium of 10 partners. I'll shortly introduce them to you. First of all is our Chinese partner, a railway university in Beijing, China. They are doing lab measurements on a scale like this. Then we've got, of course, the University of Salford, who is our host today. Focusing, for instance, primarily on assessment and on the guidance document. Then the University of Gothenburg, doing a lot of work on sleep disturbance. Here you see our lab setup in Sweden. It's all IKEA, I believe. Then EMF, the rolling stock maintainer in Portugal, which focuses on trying out measures on the rolling stock, with help, of course, with ISQ. ISQ is a Portuguese company focusing on testing methods. Then our Portuguese partner, the Railway Research Institute in Poland, who is working with us for Work Package 1 on the surveys. In Poland we have done a large survey where we did measurements and asked the people how they perceived that. IT was responsible for that. Then CDM are one of the 2 SMEs involved it's a manufacturer of elastomer, a product which can be used to mitigate vibration. And with them, they developed a lab setup to test elastomer solutions for ground balls. Then APT, the other SME, who is focusing on measurements and modeling and designing the mitigating measures we focus on. And then the project coordinator, which is TNO, who is involved in many of the work packages. And we research one particular mitigating measure, which is the ground wall, here being built in a location in Holland. The main projects we aim at CargoVibes was, on one hand, a guidance document, the very thing here very thing that we're here for to develop. The guidance document, which should include all the knowledge that we've gained so far in the work package 1. And another one is a document on the effect of mitigating measures, which is has to include all the knowledge that we developed in the other work packages, which are about technical measures. I think we're going to hear a lot more about assessments. I will not go into that. Just shortly, the 3 new measures, technical measures we're focusing on, because you're not going to hear about that later on today, but just to give you a feel. For rolling stock, we have the question, what to control? Is it wheel flats, the dynamics of the bogie? It's something we're researching, and based on this research we want to come up with advices on what to control. Then there's balance the track, where we focus on the role of the sleeper. How can we adjust the sleeper such that we, just with structural and elastomer enhancements, just to stabilize the track, because the stability of the track is an important source of vibration. And then ground walls, where we look at adding elastomer layers. Well, back to the assessment. Work done so far is a laboratory study in Sweden on sleep disturbance. We've done 3 or 4 surveys. Well, when the project started, Salford University already had carried out a very large survey, which they brought in. So we had a kickstart, so to speak, and we used that to do a similar surveys in Poland and in the Netherlands. Well, we carried out that too. And we have all these survey results, and you got results from surveys further in the past, from Germany, Norway, Sweden, Japan, and the US. The next step, of course, is the meta-analysis, an analysis on what you can conclude on the vast bulk of all these results. And we've done that too. And the results of all this work will be presented today. So the work to do now is to discuss these results, to draw conclusions from that, and to decide what to put in a guidance document, keeping in mind, from my point of view, that of course there are existing standards and guidelines, and we don't want to put that away, of course. No, we want to, put something aside to it. Like in Holland, we're using the SBR guideline. In Germany, like the DIN guideline, the DIN standard. People will, of course, stay using that for the future too. But how can we, given the knowledge that we've gained until now, how can we maybe use those guidelines, perhaps in a different way, so that it better reflects what we know now. Thank you for your attention. I think we can go to next speaker, which is Arnold.
Yeah.